Welcome back. We've been doing a series of videos about how to manage emotions in relationships. And today we're going to talk about fear. If you find yourself being governed or influenced by fear in any of your relationships, then you'll find today's video very helpful to you. Okay, today we're talking about fear and how to manage the emotion of fear in a relationship. We're not going to go into all of the details about emotions. If you need a better understanding of emotions, we have other videos that we've done on our YouTube channel that explain in detail emotions and what they are and where they come from and the purpose that they serve. And you'll be able to see them. They'll be listed right up here for you to look at if you want to watch them. So fear, what is fear and where does it come from? So the most important thing to understand about emotions is that we choose our emotions. And oftentimes that's a hard thing to understand because we think that our emotions are caused by things outside of ourselves. But it's really our thoughts about those things that create the emotion that we feel. The other thing that's important to understand is that in this life, everything we do for a reason, or we wouldn't do it. That's the behaviors that we choose, but it's also the emotions that we feel. And again, the emotions that we choose. So think about that in your relationship. What purpose would the emotion of fear serve or fulfill in your relationship with others? And think about what is the goal or the intent behind that emotion. So oftentimes when we are feeling the emotion of fear, it's because we are feeling like we are out of control. And so in a relationship, we may be experiencing some fear about the commitment of our partner in that relationship. Maybe we're afraid that our partner is not in as much love with us as they were at one time. Or maybe they're interested in somebody else. Maybe we're afraid that they're going to be angry with us. And if they're angry with us, then we have a fear of rejection or a fear of not being okay. So we have to now look at, again, everything that we talk about on this channel is about principles. And principles are laws that govern the world in which we live. So let's talk about those three foundational principles real quick. And again, if you want to know more and understand more about those principles, you can see them listed up here as well, because we have videos on each one of those foundational principles. But they are accountability, which says that I'm accountable for myself. Nobody can take that away from me, and I can't give it away to anybody else. The second is choice, which says in any circumstance or situation, I get to choose how I feel and how I behave. And that leads into the third principle, which is the principle of control. And that principle says that we have control of only three things, which are our conscious thoughts, our emotions, and our behavior. So if I'm feeling the emotion of fear and I slow the process down a little bit, I want to look at what are the thoughts that are creating the emotion that I'm feeling. The equation for emotions is we have an antecedent or a trigger or an event. It's just anything that happens. And then we have our thoughts about that event, and then that gives us our emotion. And so the important thing to understand is that the way in which we choose our emotion is through our thoughts. So it's our thoughts about this event or circumstance or situation. So if I've got an emotion of fear, it's because of the thoughts that I have about that event or that situation. Now, once I recognize that, so I've slowed the process down, I've gotten off of autopilot, so I'm aware of what's happening. I know I'm experiencing that emotion of fear. I want to figure out why now. And so there's a couple of things I'm going to look at. One, I'm going to look at what are my thoughts about that event. And I want to see if my thoughts are based on principle or truth, or if my thoughts are just something that I have picked up throughout my life and I believe to be true. Maybe I have a thought or a fear or I have a thought that creates the fear that my partner is going to be disappointed in me. And when my partner is disappointed in me, the love that he or she has for me is going to lessen, which then means that maybe I'm not good enough or there's something wrong with me. That's the thing that I want to look at then. Is that true? If my partner is disappointed in me, does that really have anything to do with me, or does it have to do with my partner? And is that anything that I can control? So can I control what my partner thinks and what my partner feels? No. All I can do is control me and work on being the very best person that I can be. And if I'm doing that and I know that I'm okay as a person, then it frees me up to allow my partner to think and feel whatever he or she wants to think or feel and be accountable for the consequences of their choices. Now, if I'm in that place where I feel like I need to control everything, keep everything the way I want it to be in order for me to be okay, then what I've done is I've got it all backwards, because I'm focused on trying to control the things I can't control instead of controlling the things that I can, which is myself. And again, making myself be the very best person that I can be. Once I get to a place where I accept myself and I'm okay with who I am, most of those fears that we experience in life will go away. Because fear, there's an acronym that I like that goes with fear, which is false evidence appearing real. So they've actually done studies on fear and found out that 93% of the things that we fear in life never even happen. And the other 7% are things that we can't do anything about anyway. But 93% of the things that we worry about and that we fear, they don't even happen. And yet we spend all of our time and energy trying to control those things, causing us to be unhappy. And oftentimes in that effort to control others to get what we want, oftentimes what we do is create or invite exactly what we don't want. Because what we focus on magnifies and increases. So if we're focusing on trying to control everything and make it be the way that we want it to be, oftentimes we influence it to be just what we don't want it to be. So my suggestion to you is, again, become aware, first of all, when you're feeling that emotion of fear, clue in to what's going on, look at what's happening in your environment around you, identify your thoughts about that circumstance or situation. Make sure that your thoughts are correct, that they're based on truth or principle. If they're not, consider being willing to let those thoughts go and then replace them with a thought that is based on truth or principle, and then make that change. If your thoughts are correct, but it's something that you don't have control over, then just let it go and focus on the things that you do have control over, and trust that as you do that, as you focus on yourself and make yourself the best person that you can be, that things will work out in your life in the best way for you. Thanks for watching. For more information about what we teach and how principles and understanding principles and living by principles can change your life and bring you more happiness and success, then subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, make sure you follow me there and visit our website. You'll find us at principlebasedliving.com.